Recently, I was looking online on the internet for some more tank wallpapers to fill up my PC data with, until I came across something special related to World of Tanks Blitz. Everyone who plays Blitz knows that the game has some kind of special tanks. I'm not talking about tanks like the Chinook-Kai or the Panzerville Hydrostat, but more about the hybridization tanks. These include, full list here. For heavy tanks, we have the Lupus from the Valkyria Chronicles universe, the Predator from the Space Marines by Warhammer 40k, the Gravedigger, a Halloween special, the Smasher, by far one of the most overpowered tanks out of all of them, the Vulcan, a garbage can which sucks in game but it's part of the Valkyria Chronicles, the Lycan, which was another Halloween tank, the Annihilator, which is hated by everyone, the Titan HN from this year's Halloween event, and the Nameless, also from the Valkyria Chronicles universe. And you might think to yourself, damn, those are a lot of vehicles, but we're not finished. We haven't mentioned the medium class tanks. In Tier 5, the Scavenger was released along with the Gravedigger, the Y5 T-34 Tier 5, the Tier 6 Y5 Firefly, and the Tier 7 Y5 LC Biz were all given away in the Blitz Turns 5 event, as celebration for the game being 5 years old. The Tier 5 Spike was given along with the Annihilator, and it's based off the STRV M42. The Stridswagen 74A2, which I think was a real vehicle built by the Swedes. The T6 or just Dracula, which was the first Halloween tank and represents the name it has. The Haven from the Valkyria Chronicles. The M4 FL10, which makes no sense because unlike the STRV 74A2, I know this vehicle was built and it doesn't make any sense having it as a hybrid nation. The Edelweiss, again part of the Valkyria Chronicles. The O47, which was designed for wargaming by Kunio Okawara, hope I pronounced that right, which is a Japanese robotic designer. And finally the T55A, which again makes no sense. It was a real tank. Picture game Blitz. That were most of the tanks. For light tanks we have Titan Mark 1, based off the Crusader and was part as the same event as the Titan HN, and the Titan T2457, also known as Titan Flare, and was a Battle Pass tank from Operation Titan Flare. This operation took part in the same month as Titan HN and the Titan Mark 1 event. This tank is based off a project where American and France swapped the turret of an AMX 3075 and that of an M24 Chevy to the hulls of the tanks, although the turret looks more like that of the AMX 3057. Finally, we have the tank destroyers. The Tier 5 Nightmare is based off the Stuk 3 and was available in the same event as the Lycan. The Tier 7 Vindicator from the Space Marines. The Tier 7 Helsing, or Helsing Ho as it was called back in the days, was part of the same event as the Dracula. And now finally for real, we have the WZ135 GFT Blaze, a Tier 7 made up by Wargaming. And it was part of the same event as the 112 Glacial or in the Heat and Steel event, where you could get it for free. Now those are a lot of tanks and I would cover all of them, but the script is already way too long. So instead I'm gonna talk about 2 tanks specifically. I can always make more if you guys want to. I'm going to talk about the Gravedigger and the Scavenger. Why those 2? Let me tell you guys why. When I was looking online on Google for some nice tank wallpapers, I came across something special. It were the blueprints for the Scavenger and the Gravedigger. Now why is this special, you might ask? Well, I think it's because not many people know these vehicles were actually sort of really made with time and were not just lame reskins like the tanks we have in the Battle Pass. Now I don't know much about these drawings, but here's what I do know. They were designed by Peter Pound. Peter Pound is a well-known Mad Max designer, and although he might not design the wacky fuel modifications on the Super Pershing, these tanks might be even crazier. From what I could find from sources and his own website, he has been designing Mad Max stuff since 1997. He made comic books and just drawings in his free time, but where most people know him from is the movie Mad Max Fury Road. In that movie he mostly designed the cars, which clearly look Mad Max. Beginning in the late 90s, Peter Pound had handed in over 950 concepts for the movie, and it was decided that he would be principal vehicle designer. Since that movie he mostly went back to making small car models and more Mad Max art and drawings. But this was all changed in 2018. In October of 2018, World of Tanks Blitz announced the Halloween event, and with it would come a special game mode, Mad Games. Never ever before was the World of Tanks Blitz community so hyped for an event this big. 2 new tanks along with the classic one from 2015 would make their return. These tanks include the Scavenger, the Gravedigger and the TanksNStuff. Now I haven't talked about the TanksNStuff yet, but it's quite weird. It's classed as a German heavy tank, well I would consider this a hybridization, but that's just me. And it was available in the 2015 Halloween event. It's based off the Porsche Tiger or Tiger P. And some rumors say that a group of German scientists helped design the vehicle for wargaming. And for those that don't know, if you go into the town in Middelburg and shoot this window from this house, you can see an Easter egg relating to the TanksNStuff's development. Now back to the Gravedigger and the Scavenger. You're probably wondering to yourself, how the heck is Peter Pound even remotely related to this? Well, it's simple, he designed the tanks. In May of 2018, the first drawings were made. Wargaming wanted to hire a Mad Max designer for the upcoming Halloween event. As a result, Peter Pound was the chosen one, and was set to work on designing tanks. This was quite special for him, as he had never ever before designed tanks, only cars. In one of his interviews with the public, he said this: "Working together with the World of Tanks Blitz team, I was able to create some unique designs and was given creative freedom. With Mad Max Fury Road, I was focused on car designs, but the challenge here was taking tanks and making them even more heavy metal. I enjoy a challenge and it was a cool experience. Now I hope everyone enjoys the hard work I put into these steel beasts." Well, I can tell I really enjoyed the Gravedigger, but for the Scavenger I haven't got it in my garage yet. But that's not all. If you look closely, you can see a thing or two was changed. In the drawings you can see both the Scavenger and the Gravedigger mounted 122mm guns. Well, in Blitz it's different. As for the Gravedigger, a gun sort of like that of the AMX 3057 was mounted with a 6-shell autoloader. And the Scavenger has 2 different guns to choose from. One 75mm and a howitzer. Before we talk about the lost designs, I want to add one thing to the Gravedigger, which I just found while writing the script. This thing was actually built. From what I could find, it's not just sketches drawn and done. There's a whole story behind it. In the wasteland, people don't have the best life. They are poor and play board games. Until this guy comes along and with a motivational speech, the people of the wasteland want to take part in the Mad Game.
You were born to be hero. Yeah! You were born to have a day. Yeah! You were born to fight in a Mad Game. Yeah! Stop! You need a tank first. Wait!
And for that video, the Mad Wasteland engineers constructed a real working and only prototype tank. I have no idea what happened to the prototype tank. Maybe it got scrapped, although it's clearly not actual metal. Or maybe the employees of Wargaming have it in their office. Or maybe it was given to Peter Pound. I really don't know. For the Scavenger, I couldn't find any footage of one being built, and sources prove that. Now let's get into the lost designs. The Gravedigger and the Scavenger weren't the only designs made by Peter. From the same search on the internet, I was able to find 4 more designs. These were designated Tank 017, Tank 016 and Tank 012. It's possible Peter created more, but these were all I could find. What's even more crazier is that Tank 016 was almost put into the game. Online I could find another blueprint of the tank, this time with color. So this means Tank 016 was nearly added into the Halloween event, but was cancelled for unknown reasons. If you take a closer look at the dates of these tanks, you can see that Peter drew Tank 012 on the 15th of May 2018 and the prototype for Tank 016 on the 16th of May 2018. Tank 017 was designed on the same day. The fully completed versions of the Gravedigger and the Scavenger were completed on the 4th of July 2018. Now, before we end this mad competition, I want to take a closer look at Tank 017. From the photo, the completed Ars version of the tank is cut off. So we miss a lot of information, from when the drawing was completed to the tank's layout. Although the model of the tank is clearly visible. It was probably completed around the same time as the Gravedigger and the Scavenger, but I was unable to track down an original fully completed version of Tank 017. It's possible that the tank was designed and maybe even entered testing by the World of Tank Blitz team, but no documents support this. So Tank 017 only remains as a memory from the people who have worked on the thing. Even if the tank would have entered testing in World of Tank Blitz, the tank would probably be renamed, just like Tank 018 was changed to the Gravedigger and Tank 019 was changed to the Scavenger. Although being so close to entering the game, Tank 017 just didn't have what it took. The drawing tells that the tank would mount a 122mm gun and would closely resemble the Gravedigger we have nowadays. Before we end this video, I want to talk about the Spike real quick. The Spike was also a Halloween event tank, and it really has the same sort of Mad Max style look to it. I don't know if it was created by Peter Pound as well, but most likely not, since no records exist about it. Most likely Wargaming designed the Spike by themselves and learned from Peter. One running Spike prototype tank was created for a video by the engineers of Rock City, and this medium tank hides the steel heart of the STRV M42 beneath its fearful exterior. And that's the end of the Mad Max adventure. This year they were replaced by the Titans. Will we get more Mad Max tanks in the future? Nobody knows. It will remain a mystery, just like the fate of the cancelled designs drawn up by Peter Pound. But one thing is known for sure. These tanks literally rock. Thank you all for watching this video. I usually don't make videos on these sort of tanks, but since this project was so crazy and forgotten, I couldn't let it slip past by. And I hope this video will rekindle the flame and create a light once again on the cool history about these forgotten vehicles. If you enjoyed, feel free to subscribe, like and share this video with a fellow tanker. And I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Until then, have a happy new year.